I'd like to welcome everybody here today to the swearing-in of the newest members of the Springfield Police Department. It is with great honor that I get a chance to introduce these people as the newest members. They've worked extremely hard over the last 12 weeks. They went through a grueling and stringent background check, some rigorous training out of the Illinois State Police Academy, and it's with great honor that I get to swear them in today. As chief, this is my first time being able to do this, and I'm really honored to be able to do so with such a highly decorated class at the Illinois State Police Academy. The effort and hard work these young men have done and shown over the last 12 weeks should be commended. With that said, you know, it's what they're about to undergo is more than what they've already done. Everything they've went through from this point up to this point has been grueling and hard, as I stated before, but they're about to undergo an additional 2 weeks of training at our police academy, an additional 20 weeks of field training on the streets where they'll be evaluated every day, their every move. While they should be proud of what they've accomplished, this is nowhere near the end. Again, and when I said highly decorative, 2 of these young men tied for the Top Gun Award. One was the valedictorian. Their cumulative average at the State Police Academy was a 95%. They've been extremely well behaved, well disciplined. They put forth the dedication, the effort to be great police officers. On behalf of the Honorable Michael J. Houston, I'd like to welcome you guys here. With that said, I'd like to call the 7 newest members to the front. Please stand up behind me, please. On my far left is Christopher J. Steffen. Christopher comes to us from Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. He came through our lateral program. Beside him is Zachary M. Roan. He came to us also from a lateral department at Highland Police Department. Juan Resendez. Juan's been a member of the Illinois National Guard. Beside him is Timothy Thorpe. Timothy came through us from Loyola University. Gino Maldonado, he's a 12-year veteran of the Illinois Army National Guard. Michael Schmidtke, he attended McMurray College as well as the University of Illinois Springfield. On the end is Neil Anderson. He attended Southern Illinois University Carbondale and has a degree in criminal justice. Again, these officers have done a great job. I'd like to welcome you guys. Round of applause for all your hard work. With that said, would everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mayor Houston to come forward for some opening remarks.
Good afternoon. You know, we really enjoy anytime we have the opportunity to bring on new police officers. And I offer them congratulations in terms of walking up here, because they really have accomplished something to be standing here this afternoon. You know, as you go through a series of tests to become a police officer. Number one, they had to go through a written examination, which is a competitive situation where they have to qualify. Number two, they go through a physical agility test that maybe some of our own officers wouldn't be able to pass today. I know I certainly would have no opportunity to pass that test today. Number three, they go through a mental examination. Number four, they go through an interview process. And if they're able to meet all of those steps, They then have the opportunity to go to the Illinois State Police Academy, which is a lot like going to Marine Corps boot camp. And it is a very physical test of their abilities, that while they are being trained in terms of the law and those types of things, they are also being assured that they have the physical fitness necessary to be able to do the job of a Springfield police officer. So that for friends and family that are here this afternoon, you really have to understand what each of these individuals have gone through in order to be able to reach this point. And typically, when we send people to the State Police Academy, we get back less than we send, because typically the academy is difficult enough that not everybody that goes out there is able to graduate. So that these officers really have accomplished a great deal in terms of being able to join the Springfield Police Department. To the officers that are here, one of the things they also have to understand is that the city has invested well over $100,000 in each of these officers to get them to the point where they are at today. So that as we look at this, I use the term investment because that is exactly what it is. We expect that each of these officers will make a career here at the Springfield Police Department, that each of these officers will retire from the Springfield Police Department. For, again, friends and family, they're taking on a very, very unique role. You know, up to this point, anything they do in life may reflect upon them, it may reflect upon their family, it may reflect upon their friends. Being sworn in as a member of the Springfield Police Department, they join a very exclusive fraternity where anything they do, whether it's on their time or whether it's on official business, will reflect not only upon the members of the Springfield Police Department, but literally anything they do, be it good or bad, will reflect on all police officers. So that they have taken on a very, very heavy burden in terms of the profession that they have chosen to follow. So again, I just want to take the opportunity to congratulate and welcome each of these officers to the Springfield Police Department. They have made it to the point where they will become sworn officers today, and their training will continue because it's not finished. They will go through a field training process, and it will continue on and on. The really important thing is that for friends and family, it's important to understand the job that they are taking on. It is a very, very difficult job. It's a very difficult job just to walk away and turn off and forget. So it really is important that they have your support and that you have an understanding of what they're doing. The best way to do that is through communication and talking to them, because it is a great profession, but it is not an easy profession. And again, to each and every one of you, congratulations on making it to this point. And while I won't be around, I look forward to the day each of you retire.
At this time, I'd like to ask Deputy Chief Markovic to step forward. He'll read the Code of Ethics to the officers. Deputy Chief Markovic.
Congratulations again to all of you. Thanks, sir. Good afternoon. This is the Code of Ethics for the Springfield Police Department. As a member of the Springfield Police Department, my first duty is to serve the people of the city of Springfield, Illinois. I will safeguard lives and property, protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder. Above all else, I shall respect the constitutional rights of all people to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintaining courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. I will be honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with the relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith and accept it as a public trust, to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself to my chosen profession, law enforcement.
You know, the mayor spoke of something when he talked about it's not that they're just joining our family, you're joining our family. This is a family. We look at this as a time to understand what these people are about to go through. There'll be nights when they're not home on time. There'll be holidays that they're going to miss, birthdays of their loved ones that they can't be at. It's a sacrifice, it's a dedication that each one of these officers have decided to make going forward. With that, we tell each one of them why we are their second family. They must keep their families and friends close to them. They're going to rely on you. There's things they may or may not share with you, some things that they probably can't share with you. You need to be understanding, compassionate, and sympathetic to some of the things they are going through. Ultimately, there may become a time when they are called to make the ultimate sacrifice, and they know that going into this. It's nothing that we want to do. It's nothing that we would ever want anybody to do. But ultimately, we have to train for the worst and the unthinkable. As I stated earlier, it's always great to hire new people. Seeing these young faces, these young men come into the department, it energizes the organization. It reminds all of us of why we got into law enforcement. When they hit the streets, you see it in the senior officers there. You know, there's some good fun that they have with them, obviously being the new guy on the job. But it breathes new light into the officers. The FTOs that train them, it re-energizes them. Hey, I remember now why I got into law enforcement. Today's law enforcement officer has to be better trained. They have to be the best trained of any generation. The things we ask them to deal with, from everything from being a social worker to a first responder to a paramedic to a crisis counselor, to ultimately somebody who has to be able to interpret the law, apply the law. When we look around, all of the demands that we put on these officers, they must be the best trained, the best educated, because of the demands society places on law enforcement moving forward. I am very proud of you guys, as I stated earlier. One of the best classes I've seen in my entire career. Those are high compliments, I'm telling you, but you have a lot of work to do going forward. You set the bar high for everybody, but I expect you to excel the rest of the way through the program. It won't be easy. You'll have to make those sacrifices that we've talked about, and you will have to continue to work hard. My goal is 22 weeks from now, all of you are standing here completing your FTO program, ready to go into solo patrol. I know you can do it. We'll give you the tools and abilities to do it, the training that is needed, and every resource to succeed. Someday I hope one of you hope to be standing here doing what I'm doing today. This is an honor. An honor I never really thought I would have in my career, to be honest with you. It's nothing I really thought about, but you know, it's moving and touching to be able to do this today. Springfield Police Department, we refer to it as SPD, service, pride, and dedication. Those are the values of our organization. Those are the things that we want to instill in these folks. You know, you can never stop learning. One thing my dad told me when I was a young man, he goes, if you stop learning, you stop living. you might as well be dead. We can all learn every day moving forward. Again, you guys should be proud of your accomplishments. Don't rest on your laurels. Move forward. My one word of advice to all of you is to keep your family close, your friends close, keep the Lord in your heart, in your mind, and in your prayers. And with that, treat everybody by the golden rule. If you live by that, you'll be successful in this career and you'll never have an issue. At this time, we'll call forward each officer and we'll pin them. Please step forward. Feel free to take any pictures that you would like. It's your ceremony. It's informal. I'll step out of the way so you can get pictures with your loved ones. And we'll go forward. Let's just go this way, let us go over here. The first officer is Officer Christopher J. Steffet. He'll be pinned by his daughter, Ava. Hey, Mike, which way's going to be the best pictures? Moving it this way out of your way? You'll work around us? All right. Next, Officer Zach Roan. Officer Roan will be pinned by his grandfather, Joseph O'Brien. Officer Juan Resendez. Officer Resendez will be pinned by his daughter Isabella with his wife Jody. Next will be Officer Timothy Thorpe. He'll be pinned by his mother, Jean Thorpe. Next will be Officer Gino Maldonado. He'll be pinned by his mother, Roseanne Amaya. Next will be Michael Schmidtke. Mike, come on forward. I'll stick up first. Last but not least, Neil Anderson. He'll be pinned by his father, retired Springfield Police Department Sergeant Steve Anderson. Mom, you want to get up there? Now for the good part. John, please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. To the people of the city of Springfield,
To the people of the city of Springfield,
I state your name.
I, Timothy Storm,
Do solemnly pledge upon my honor as a police officer
do solemnly pledge upon my honor as a police officer
that I will faithfully execute the duties of a police officer
that I will faithfully execute the duties of a police officer
of the city of Springfield to the best of my ability.
of the city of Springfield to the best of my abilities.
I pledge that my every act
I pledge that my every act
will exemplify honesty in thought, word, and deed.
will exemplify honesty in thought, word, and deed.
Justice fairly administered,
Justice fairly administered,
moral courage to avoid evil and its temptation,
moral courage to avoid evil and its temptation,
intelligent obedience to the commands of my superiors,
intelligent obedience to the commands of my superiors,
and a readiness at all times to do my best
and a readiness at all times to do my best
to protect the property and lives of our citizens.
to protect the property and lives of our citizens.
It shall be my unswerving purpose
It should be my unswerving purpose
to be friendly but impersonal,
to be friendly but impersonal,
courteous but firm,
courteous but firm,
and charitable to the inadvertent violator.
and charitable to the inadvertent violator.
I will uphold the constitutions and enforce the laws
I will uphold the Constitution and enforce the laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
and the city of Springfield.
and the city of Springfield.
Welcome the 7 newest members of the Springfield Police Department.